Graham Potter could become the new tactical mastermind for Chelsea, with innovative player movements opening up new opportunities for the likes of Raheem Sterling and Ruben Loftus Cheek. Graham Potter comes to the club with similar tactical expectations. Although he too favors a 3-5-2 of sorts, he is a manager that switches system commonly and does it at the flick of a switch in games to overcome obstacles and set traps for the opposition. This was evident against RB Salzburg with his use of Raheem Sterling as a wide player in Mason Mount's positional move. From that game there were a few tactical takeaways, but here, we takes a look at who else might be molded differently under Potter at Chelsea and where we might see them in the coming weeks. Raheem Sterling. To start with maybe the most drastic change from Tuchel's Chelsea, not only did Sterling play much wider than his central role in the early stages of the season, he was the highest player on the pitch too, standing right along the last line of defense. To describe it as a wingback is pushing the boundaries, but if you were to draw a symmetrical shape on paper for the system, then Sterling would be the left-sided player, opposite James. Football isn't symmetrical, neither are formations, and Potter certainly isn't. Sterling was a true winger and Marc Cucurella had his own left-sided centre-back, wing-back in midfield space to operate in, with Sterling's position opening up freedom. Using attackers as more orthodox wingbacks is something that Tuchel did with Hakim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic, more on them later, and Potter also did it with Solly March and Leandro Trossard. Although Sterling is likely to receive the ball higher up for Chelsea than Brighton's attackers, it may not be uncommon to see him in that spot more often in the future. Ruben Loftus Cheek. Loftus Cheek is Chelsea's Mr. Utility right now. This season alone he has played at right wing-back, right wing, central midfield as an 8 and a 6, and also on his own as a defensive midfielder. His physical frame and excellent ball skills make him a perfect option for a variety of positions. Although Potter now has more defensive options available to him, it might not be unreasonable to suggest he could fill in if needed. This becomes especially relevant when considering the deep role that Jorginho played against Salzburg. At times the Italian was part of the defense on the ball to get position. If Loftus Cheek is used in a similar way, then his frame would allow him to slot in easier when possession was lost. Mason Mount. Mount was moved into the front three as an inside number 10 under Tuchel and played well in the role, but, as proved by his all-action performance against Salzburg, being a midfield number 8 is much more natural and gets the best from his energy and pressing. Mount could also be used in behind a striker in a 4-2-3-1 if Potter was to use that. Kai Havertz. Where is the best position for Havertz? Nobody knows the answer, but everyone has their ideas. Potter has the choice to use him as a striker, false 9, number 10 and even a wide forward this season, but Potter is more likely to keep him in attack. It could yet be in a new role again, though. Playing as a traditional number 10 behind the striker is not something that we have seen much of from Havertz, and now, with both Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Armando Broja capable of being a focal point, he might get that chance. Christian Pulisic. If Sterling can benefit from being high and wide as a wingback, then there's every chance Pulisic might be used in the role as well. He was previously deployed by Tuchel in that position, but given the advanced nature of Sterling, it might be to more use under the new manager. Hakim Ziyech. Just like Pulisic, Ziyech has been a makeshift wingback before. Interestingly though, at Brighton Potter favored switching flanks for his attackers when moved into the position. March, who is left-footed, was played on the right in order to cut inside, whilst Trossard was used on the left. This would mean that Ziyech, who favors the right wing, could become a choice for James' attacking wingback spot if needed. This would also allow James to come inside the pitch in a position he is used to anyway.